For your average college student, keeping up with your schedule, maintaining your schoolwork, and prioritizing your time can be a juggling act that leaves many students stressed and disorganized, especially if you're involved in any extracurriculars that require a specific GPA. Meet Maggie Goad and Rachel Dumoulin, two second-year ECC students that balance their schoolwork, their basketball career, as well as helping maintain an immense farm their family has owned for generations. Shaylee Voidel and I sat down with Maggie and Rachel to get an inside look at the unique lives of these two and to see just how they maintain such a rigorous schedule.
I am one of 7 kids, and I live with my 10 cousins and their parents. So I mean, it's a pretty big house we've got pigs on our farm and 5 dogs, and we wake up at 5:30 in the morning and head out for chores at 6, and then from there I head off to class, which starts at 9. So I mean, I get called up at I think it's like 7:45. I get called in, that way I can get time to get ready for school and then head off to class. So it's pretty busy all the time at home, and we gotta feed the pigs and give shots and take them to different farms and stuff. So I mean, it's a lot of stuff, but with a lot of people at home, it doesn't take too long to do. So
our family farm is in Hampshire, and we have about, I'd say like 2,200 on our home farm, and we have like off-sites that we call them, with other pigs, the wiener pigs. And every morning we go out and do pig chores, and that consists of just, picking up after the pigs, scraping their poop, sweeping the feeding them. Some days are different, they're not all the same. So today we weaned pigs, so we wean them off their mothers, and then we move them to a different room, and then they'll grow up to be bigger pigs. And some days we will ship the pigs to our off-sites, just so we can move them around and get some more room. But we start pig chores around 6, so every morning, and then we have afternoon chores at 4, that start at 4. But because right now Rachel and I are in basketball, we don't get to do our afternoon chores, unless the only time we'll do chores is if we're home and we don't have basketball.
So basically every morning I do the same thing, but we wake up, and then at 6 o'clock we'll head out. We have to feed the pigs, and once you're done with feeding, you have to sweep up after them because they tend to make a mess. And so we'll do that, and after we finish sweeping, that'll take like 25 minutes to do the sweeping part. And then after that we have to, it's called, you process the pigs, so you give them shots, and you have to clip their tails, and that probably, some days are longer than the others. And then after that, depending on the day, so Wednesdays we will ship pigs, so you have to load it's either 500 or 600 pigs on a trailer, and then from there, after you load them on the trailer, you have to take them to one of our off-site finisher sites. So that's just another place where our pigs go after they reach us. So it's 50 pounds. We will ship them to another farm. That way they can grow up bigger from there, and from then they get sold. So we have them till when they're born to when they're 50 pounds, and then from there they get shipped to another farm. But I don't really do that because I have a school, obviously, but other than that, that's about our mornings for chores. And then I head off to school and practice after that. And then when I get home, depending on if they're in for the night, I'll go out if they need help, or if we're in, I'll work on homework and stuff.
So you really are just working from sunrise to sunset when you wake up?
Most of the time, yeah.
Maggie and Rachel were kind enough to give me a tour of Dumoulin Farms. Spanning over 700 acres and housing thousands of pigs, the two showed me what it takes to run a farm so massive. I sat down with their grandmother to hear a little bit more about the farm and some of their family's history.
Okay, well, I'm Pat Dumoulin, and I'm the grandma of Dumoulin Farms. And we are a hog and corn producer. We raise about 700 acres of corn, and we market a few thousand hogs a year. And I have 2 sons that work with us and a son-in-law and 20 grandchildren that live on the farm with us. And if I can corral them, they are great help. I was married back in 1954, which most of you weren't even born at that time. And my husband passed away. We were married 60 years. And this farm was in his family's history.
For how long?
Well, I believe the farm was bought from a couple of uncles that were twins of his uncles. And so his parents bought it, and then he has it, and then our children, and now our grandchildren. So you're looking at his 6th generation on the farm here. And the farm started out with about, I think about 198 acres, and we've added to it over the years. And when we started out, we raised hogs and cattle and chickens, and were what all other farmers were at that time, with corn and oats and hay. And of course, over the years, farming has changed and it's become very specialized. And today we raise all corn. And as I said, we have a farrow to finish hog operation. I just think we are very, very lucky to live on a farm. I marvel at people in town, how they raise children and keep them busy. Where on the farm, you never have to worry about what you're going to do, because there is always something to do. The farm is like a house. A woman's work is never done. You finish cleaning, you start in right all over again. So, and that's how farm life is. But it's a great way to live. It's a great way to make a living. And it seems like we never have any money, but we seem to live like everybody else. So it seems to work out just fine.
So this right here is our ripper, and it works up our ground for us after we finish picking. And we've got a couple trailers for when we go on vacation. We've got one here and in the back corner. This is our biggest tractor we've got. This one's it's a big one. And then over here, got some more tractors, and then we got a sprayer here, which goes in our fields after we plant them, so that'll help kill the weeds and stuff. So you just fill it up with water and a bunch of chemicals, and it actually opens up, so and then it'll just go through the fields back and forth and kill the weeds. And you do that a couple times after you plant them, the corn. So.
This is the trailer we use to ship pigs to our offsite.
So when we'll do this, we'll either do it on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. So we'll put 600 or 500 pigs in this trailer, and then these are the ones that are about 50 pounds or so. And once we load them up, they go to an off-site finisher, which will raise them from there, and then from then they'll get sold to a packer place or something like that. So we can walk down here and over here. I'm gonna have to kind of step down a little bit.
Oh, Rachel, we got the grain cart on.
Yeah, I saw that, yeah. This is our planter. So it's a 24 row, and obviously it'll open up and stuff, but we'll use this in the spring to plant our corn, and these are just obviously the compartments for it, and then we've got stuff for the insecticide and all that stuff. So this requires a lot of work. Upkeeping. This is what we have to do yearly.
Wow.
Make sure that you have to check each one of these just to make sure you've got that'll have corn coming out of the tubes and that corn space for For the barns, we kind of make our own gates. So that's what this machine is for.
It cuts the iron.
Yeah, it cuts the steel for us, and it's called the iron worker. So you'll put a bunch of the steel that you see over there. That'll come through here, and we have some different designs that we use for them. And we had a project this summer to do. We made, I don't know how many gates we made, but then we had to clean them and spray paint them, and then we sold them to we sold them to our farms. So this is actually the White House you see back here is the old farmhouse.
Okay.
And I believe it was in 2000. When did we put this up? I can't remember what year it was. But we connected. We just made it into a huge house. So technically it's a shed, a Morton shed, but we have a house down here, a house there, and then in between we call our party room, which we'll show you.
So we'll eat meals in here. We'll play, basketball games, watch movies on that big screen. We'll do everything. We'll hold parties in here.
Mm-hmm. We normally eat down here as a family on Saturdays at lunch, at dinner, and then Sundays at lunch and Sundays at dinner. So this is the go-to place for everyone to come together and eat. You definitely get the hands-on experience with working on a farm and stuff, and I get to work with my family every day, and I don't have to worry about, I don't get along with this person or this person. It's always, you come home and everyone's working together, and you learn hard work and what it means to be working with family and not getting upset with them, and it's just a really neat experience to have. So I've never had a job other than farming, so I wouldn't know what that's like to work out any place else. So
Do you ever take pride in the familial bond that you have and
I do, yeah, because just we are really close because we spend a lot of the day together every day. So just having that kind of relationship with them, it's cool because, you just have that friendship with them, that it's not just your cousin, but she's my best friend too, so.
From Hampshire High School, sophomore number 14, Maggie Goad. And from Hampshire High School, sophomore number 10, Rachel Dumoulin. Your Spartans are coached by Jerry McLaughlin. He is assisted by Mika McLaughlin and Jenna Arapo.
So how long have you been playing basketball?
Junior Whips, I think, started in 6th grade, so I've been playing since then.
All right.
So it's kind of run in the family. So you start at a young age, and
So almost everybody plays?
everyone's played.
Everybody's played.
I think Maggie and I were the 9th and 10th girls to play here at ECC.
Okay.
So, the boys, when they graduate high school, they don't play here at ECC because they go home and help on the farm. But us girls have all played here and have enjoyed it. So, I know Coach, you're the 9th and 10th person. It's you think about it, it's that's a lot of people. But
I knew I wanted to continue playing basketball, and just kind of, having those other girls already go through what I'm going through was kind of nice, because if I needed help, I could ask them, and it just seemed, because there were so many, I was I'm going to be another one that plays basketball. And even our coach, he numbers all of us off. He's you and Rachel are 9 and 10, and just
I'll just start it off by saying that Maggie and Rachel come from a unique family. There's 10 family members on one side of the Dumlins, 7 with Rachel, and then 3 on Maggie's side. So that's 20 kids between the 3 of them, the 2 brothers and the sister. So to have all those leadership qualities, both in the classroom and on the basketball floor, is really key. And the same thing happens at home. You know, they have to work hard at home. They have to do their classwork and then do a lot of family get-together things on the farm and church and all those other good areas. So it's really critical that you have good leadership and time management skills, and both of them possess all that.
So have they always been this dedicated to sports, school, and their work on the farm?
Yes, they have. Unanimous.
Yes.
So why do you think they're suited to such a rigorous schedule?
I think they like the challenge.
Okay.
And they always like to strive to do their very best. So the sports thing helps bring out the competition in them.
Right.
And
Coming from a large family, competition is a big thing
deal.
too. Yes, everybody
And-
likes to compete for something. So.
And everyone always wants to have the one up,
Yeah.
you know, and say, well, I did this, I did that, and yeah.
It's actually pretty cool to see where they started and to where they are now, just the growth that they had throughout the years. I know for like my little sister Ronnie, she's in 5th grade. She is praying that she's just like her older sister Rachel because of all the accomplishments that she's had throughout the years, and it's just really cool to see her grow up in the basketball. Even Maggie too, Maggie has done awesome with her basketball as well, and just seeing them both grow together is just
And the nicest
really
thing too
cool.
is they're very selfless with each other. It's not about me, it's about both of them doing things together, and they've always just they've had a really great friendship ever since they started, and basketball has only helped that, I feel like, continue to grow and develop as well.
What kind of valuable qualities do Maggie and Rachel exhibit off the court?
I know for Maggie, she's so tough every single day, and day in, day out, nothing can shake her. And so, I mean, I think it's awesome to see her be so strong, because Rachel's more of an emotional leader, and she leads with her heart. And then Maggie, she's so strong. She supports everything that we do. Like, nothing can shake her, I guess.
Yeah, from the 2 cousins, you can definitely say that Maggie's a little tough one of the 2, and she definitely hits you literally to, pushes you literally to do better and keep going. And then there's Rachel, who is soft-hearted and softly uses her words and her wisdom and knowledge to keep going and things like that. So
This whole family revolves around being the best student athletes you can be, and they always grow. From a basketball standpoint, they always give their best effort, so they're always going to improve. From an academic standpoint, they're always giving their best effort in the classroom. Every teacher loves having them in class, and a lot of that stems from Grandma, who was a teacher here. And you pretty much learn by example. Like everything that they do at home, they can bring here and make us a better team, a better family, and make us more committed to being the best people we can be, both in the classroom, on the basketball floor, in the community. It's really an exciting part of the process of getting to know the whole Dumoulin family. So I know all the parents, I know all the grandparents, I know the cousins, nieces, nephews, and they're always here supporting in every way. I mean, there's always there to support our program, and that's what makes my job a lot easier, is knowing you have people that are committed to wanting excellence and demanding, running a first-class program, which is what we try and strive for here at ECC.
Just recently, Rachel has reached her 1,000th career point in basketball, an accomplishment that is not often reached. In fact, one of the only other people to reach that milestone in the last 17 years is Rachel's cousin, Cassie Dumoulin.
How did it feel hearing Rachel win that award?
Oh my gosh. Cool. I honestly was gonna cry. Because I knew she was coming close.
Yeah, I didn't
realize she was that close, but it made sense because Coach wanted people from Hampshire to come over and support, and then when they finally announced that she had 1,000, like, that would make sense why he wanted a lot of people here tonight. Yeah. But that was really cool to hear that she
just
got
a really neat thing.
it doesn't happen very often, and it's just a really neat accomplishment. It says a lot about her. It says a lot about the team and how they have helped her to get there, because there's no way she could have done it on her own.
Right.
But that was a really cool thing to be there for, and to be there to support her and cheer her on. It's a proud cousin moment.
Big sister.
Like we said, from a young age, you always realize that you're going to be busy, and we've always been taught to do things to the best of our ability, and I think that's how, everybody in our family has gone out, on the basketball court or in school. That's why everybody's been so successful, is because we've had the family support to always do our best, and I think that just correlates directly in everything that we try to do. Our grandpa really set a high standard for all of us when we were really young, and him and my grandma have created everything, the legacy that our family has, and it's just been a really cool thing to be a part of.
Do you have any tips for managing the kind of stress that can come with having such a rigorous schedule, especially because you're a nursing major? That's a lot of work.
The biggest tip is honestly how to learning to manage your time. I've had so many years of finding what works for me, and over time I've just developed I can't do this because I know I won't do it, or I'd say managing your time would be the biggest one.
Take things step by step. Don't stress things too much, because you will find time to get things done, but just have a good attitude all the time and make sure you get your stuff done without being late or whatever, and have fun too. Don't let things get in your head, and just push through it.
Maggie and Rachel's story is certainly inspiring, and there is so much motivation you can find in a family with such an impressive list of accomplishments. The Dumoulin and Goad family have done an incredible amount of things for ECC, and there's a lot you can learn from a family that has dedicated so much time into serving their community.